I don't know whether to classify this as an urban legend or a creature feature.
Can it be both?
For what it is, I enjoyed this movie. Even if enough time passes and you don't remember what happens in it, I don't think you'd be hard pressed to want to see it again and remember it all. At least that's what I thought when I first watched it. Now, having watched it a second time, there's surprisingly a couple of small things in this movie that are worth giving it some praise for. But to balance that out, trust me, there's plenty in here I'm gonna shit on. So Headcount is about a group of college students on a weekend getaway who accidentally summon a supernatural entity intent on using them for a deadly ritual. Now the movie opens with a little poem about the I don't know what the fuck that thing is. Either way, it's awful, and it reads like it was written by a 7th grader. Even the first actual scene of the movie is dumb. We open on Evan spacing out in the car, and the music is ominous, and you think, oh shit, we're already deep into something. But we're not.
Oh! Thanks for the ride, bud.
Of course, man.
It's a red herring for absolutely nothing. He hasn't yet met the people that are gonna bring out the fucking monster, okay?
Yeah, wish you were coming with.
Next year.
Yeah, good luck with your bro. See ya.
He then drives off, calls his brother on the phone, and gets his voicemail.
Hey, it's Peyton. I don't answer my phone very often because I am enjoying life, so leave me a message.
This is why I find the intro so utterly redundant. In less than 15 to 20 seconds, this scene perfectly let us in on a little bit about both of our main, well, not necessarily main, but one of our main characters and his brother, whereas the first part of the movie just failed to do that. It told us we have two brothers, one on a schedule, one carefree, and they're gonna spend the summer together. What I'm really trying to say is, why didn't the movie just start up with the car going down the road and him calling his brother? I know it seems like I'm really giving this shit, but it just, if a movie starts off like this, with this kind of pacing, it's just a bad sign.
We good to see you. Don't have to call me back or anything.
Alright, I'll balance it out with something good to say about the next scene. Now, arriving at his brother Peyton's small trailer, we see the stark contrast in personality clearly now as the movie continues to do a great job revealing our characters to us. Showing us the characters instead of telling us.
Jesus, dude.
Peyton seems to be a hippie, into meditation, carefree, and all that jazz. Something Evan clearly is not, because when given the choice of attending a sound bath...
The hell is a sound bath?
They play these crystal bowls, and the way the sound waves resonate, you feel totally fucked up afterward.
Well, it's either that or hiking.
Hiking. Sounds great.
Now, the two begin their hike, catching up with one another, and while I don't particularly find myself interested in their small talk...
Here comes the dad phase. Coming up in the mom phase, are you seeing anyone?
I don't think the movie's taking any missteps here either. Peyton runs off ahead of Evan in his excitement, and when Evan eventually catches up with him, he discovers another group of hikers perched atop the ridge right beside them.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh no, he gave her a look, and with the music, you know there's an inevitable relationship about to form. How lucky is it too that the one girl he fancied from afar just so happens to also fancy him? It's around here where I suddenly remembered why I don't really like this movie that much. It's these people!
Troy and Sam, Haley and Nico, Max and Vanessa, and Brian and Camille.
Or maybe it's just her, Camille.
You want to smoke with us?
Do you want to smoke weed on the mountain and stuff? We should totally get high sometime. On the mountain.
Okay.
Now, Evan joins the group even though Peyton wanted them to continue on their excursion. Now, Camille gets even more annoying here because she acts like a goddamn 7th grader who just found out her best friend has a crush on this boy named Evan. She's all invested in it like it affects her life somehow. She just awkwardly kind of pushes the two of them together instead of letting them form whatever natural relationship they might have.
Don't be antisocial.
And that's how you can tell I don't really like Camille, because when the fuck do I ever take up for relationships in movies?
Hi, I'm Zoe.
I'm not taking up for this relationship either. See, this is fucking boring. Skip it.
Did Zoe tell you we're renting a house?
Oh, wow, man, no. I had no idea.
We have a spare couch. It'll be fun.
A lot of small talk commences, none of which really matters. All it really does is give Evan and Zoe a moment or two to kind of flirt and get to know one another and bore you as an audience. See, the movie banks on the possibility that we'll give a shit when the inevitable conflict between these two happen based on small moments like these. Maybe they work for you, they don't really work for me.
Fuck's sake, run back there. I'm not gonna stand in the way of you and a girl.
In fact, let's take the House of the Witch approach and just cut right through the bullshit. But, to at least fill you in quickly, Evan's pretty much gonna decide to not hang out with his brother over the summer. He's gonna ditch him, basically, to hang out with this fucking ragtag group of hippies in the hopes that he can rail Zoe.
Thanks, Peyton. I'll, see you later.
When it's Evan's turn, he reads them the same poem that we saw at the beginning of the movie.
This one's called Hysg, 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 Hysg.
What?
Man, if I didn't know these guys were in the movie, I would seriously think, in parts of this movie, that they're reviewing the movie with me.
That's the title, I think.
I could have reviewed the whole movie with just these clips, honestly.
A Hysg is a vengeful thing. 5 times its name you never sing.
Now, Camille continues to be annoying as ever, and as the group heads back inside, we get a quick shot of a nearby structure to make us wonder what's inside. Zoe and Evan get in the hot tub together, where he just shows that he has no balls at all, leading her to make the first move. Oh my god, look at him! Fucking look at him! He's just all timid, and his elbows are like about to touch, they're so close together. Like a little girl, all embarrassed.
You never see stars like this in LA.
It just makes me cringe how bad he is around women. Women like confidence, you fool. Now, ignoring the embarrassing nature of that encounter, something is behind them, silently judging him along with me. Now, they head back inside where Max, I think his name is, gives him a bunch of shit, claiming that it's probably just his weird-ass brother Peyton creeping around out there.
I'm just saying he sat there and watched us all day, and then you see somebody creeping outside.
So the movie continues to lose my attention at this point as things fly by with little explanation, and the next morning after waking in bed with Zoe, he heads outside and investigates the building we saw previously, finding an odd symbol inside. There's always an odd symbol in these kind of movies.
What?
There's even a shitty little jump scare.
Evan?
Fuck.
Sorry.
More boring small talk ensues with Zoe and Evan.
Like, somebody's excavating my skull.
Just fucking skip it. Now back inside, the party is still raging on, and this is why I kinda hate this movie. There's little plot. The majority of it is watching a bunch of too old to be doing this kind of shit people doing this kind of shit. I'm sorry, but
You want to do shrooms with breakfast?
watching people party's fucking boring now.
Oh my god, not again, Nico.
At least the first real odd moment happens here with Camille in the kitchen yelling at Brian for eating so much food.
Seriously, Brian? 5 eggs and a whole pack of bacon wasn't enough?
What's so weird about that?
He's in there stuffing his face.
What? No, babe, I'm here.
See, if the movie played on this idea more often, it could have been really fucking good. But it doesn't. It wastes so much of your time watching boring as fuck Evan try to look cool and like he belongs to this crowd. Now, piling into 2 cars, they all head out into the desert for a hike, and finally, we get to what I think is the first well thought out scene. Resting atop a cliff, Evan in blue suede shoes over there are talking and kind of just boring you with their dialogue. Now, this distracts you from the background characters long enough that it's a surprise when you see what Zoe does.
What the hell?
It's even more a surprise when you look back at what Tori did right before.
Is you gotta take psychedelics. You take like a new one each time you come out here.
Just walks up all inconspicuously. You probably barely even noticed her.
It's like a new experience each time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fry my brain, though.
But if you looked close, she started counting.
That one.
Shit, sorry, man. I'm a dick. Your brain's probably totally fine. Lightly toasted, at worst.
You don't know how much 2CE I've done.
So much like Brian, that's not Tori. This is the angle I'm talking about. The shape-shifting. The never knowing who might be who. It's fabulous stuff, but something they just did not utilize enough or properly when they did utilize it. Everyone rushes down to help her, and Tori, the real Tori, says this.
What the hell happened?
You just fell.
No, I didn't. Wait.
Which we are to assume that she still saw Tori atop the cliff, even though it cut away to Evan's stupid face.
You okay? Christ, is it broken?
This is good shit. This is good editing, and it's starting to feel not impressive, but promising at least.
Okay, guys, what the fuck happened?
probably just...
I don't want to get my hopes up, though. Now, bruised up pretty bad, the group head back to the cabin since Zoe doesn't want to go to the hospital. There's 5 things. It's fucking meaningful, but I don't really understand why. Now, Camille bandages Zoe up and carries her back to the party. Some more creepy shit happens, though.
Oh, wow, dude.
Now, tension mounts, too, as Evan tells the rest about the encounter he and Zoe had in the hot tub. The scary encounter, not the pathetic kiss they shared. That was a terrible encounter. Then Max, the tough guy asshole that he is, makes a show out of locking the doors, maintaining that it's still probably just his creepy brother Peyton.
Fuck!
Speak of the devil.
Hey there.
Yeah, the timing of this couldn't be worse, I'll admit.
Evan. What the hell, man? I thought something terrible happened to you.
I just...
And it's pretty embarrassing for Evan, who I didn't think could possibly be more embarrassed.
How the fuck do you find this house?
Look, to cut through some more of the crap, again, Evan is gonna ditch his brother Peyton so he can hang out with the Manson family out here.
I'm staying. Peyton, you should go.
Okay,
And it just starts to kind of suck again.
All right, never have I ever... Oh, wait a minute. Jerked off in a public restroom.
They're drinking and talking about sex. That's cool, right?
Ew!
Seriously, what are they, 16? And this shit just goes on and on and on.
Never have I ever gone down on a girl.
It's like what a 35-year-old would write, what he thinks 17-year-olds talk like if they're portrayed by 25-year-olds. Yeah.
Everybody down, 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 down.
Oh, sure, that's the one that you own up to. Okay.
But we do get another kick-ass moment here.
Sam, master of bullshit, you're up.
What?
Now, slowly, people are starting to catch on that some weird shit is happening.
How did you get over here so fucking fast?
What the fuck are you talking about? I've been here for like an hour.
You fucking liar! You were sitting right next to me!
That's what, 3 or 4 people now that have seen 2 people in 2 places at the same time? So again, we start dipping into that awesome territory that makes me want to like this movie.
No! I didn't. Why would I do that?
So Evan...
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I know, right? He asked the question that puts everyone on the same page.
We're all pretty fucked up right now, but we are with it enough to know somebody was sitting there.
Now everyone is unnerved now, starting to freak out, and they search the house for any possible intruders. 3 minutes later...
So?
There was nobody else in the house.
Stupid shit like that.
Have ourselves a little doobie.
Ooh, have ourselves a little doobie. I don't know if it's the line or his delivery. Shitty dialogue. Now the next morning, if it at all matters to you, we find out why Max is a dick. Apparently he dated Zoe, she dumped him, and...
And she picks up some rando on a weekend trip.
Yeah, that. Whatever. The real point of the scene is for Evan to notice the pattern on the table. There's 5s everywhere. Now, grabbing a nearby laptop, he searches the site he initially read the story from, seeking more information. In a matter of seconds, the movie lays out basically everything you need to know about the history. It's still lazy since we're quickly seeing all this information. It's exposition just readily thrown at you out of nowhere. In this form, a compact database on the internet and all that. But it's actually a little less shitty than, once again, something like House of the Witch, where unimportant characters just fucking tell you about it. Hell, even the lighter. The one, by the way, which he said he stole from his brother at the age of 11. And somehow it still fucking works. Which I also don't understand because of fucking habits like this when you're nervous. How the hell could this lighter last this long? Anyway, it had a damn 5 on it. I mean, they probably just shoved that on there because, but I don't know, I kind of liked it. Even though it means absolutely dick all. Everywhere you go, there's 5s in this movie. There's probably more 5s all throughout this movie that I've missed since the beginning, and I hesitate to give them more meaning than they truly deserve, but it's underdeveloped. That's to say the least.
Evan?
If I know anything, that's not Zoe. It's probably the history.
Did you get out here by yourself?
Yeah, it's It's better today.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense. Now, he tells her that he's leaving to see his brother, but she's manipulative in her attempts to keep him there because it's the monster.
Don't leave me.
See, now it's painfully obvious. Unlike earlier, where there was a real element of surprise to it. Take that guy at the table, for example.
Sam, master of bullshit. You're up.
What?
You had no idea, and the surprise was genuine. But here, you just know that it's the monster.
Okay.
Whatever. She tells him they're all getting ready to go to the mines, that he should also get ready and to meet them out there. And he falls for it. Now, catching a ride with Nico and Camille, when they arrive, Evan is dumbfounded when Zoe doesn't hop out of the car, and he and Camille both claim to have seen her.
I saw Zoe right before we left, and she was in her room with everyone. She was in bed.
No, she said that her ankle was doing a lot better.
Now, obviously, the two stories conflict heavily, but what really pushes him over the edge is the answer to this question.
How many of them are there back at the house?
5?
Now, he jacks Nico's car, not before Camille hops in, and together they speed off as fast as they possibly can, with Evan trying to explain to her along the way what the fuck he's thinking.
You were there when Sam was in 2 places at once, and that is not the first time that's happened this weekend.
Now, it's night before they make it back, and immediately, we know something awful must be underway from what we see on the ground. This red line, possibly made of blood, circles the entire house. Once inside, what they see absolutely confounds them, and only makes Evan's theory even more real. The two search the house, but find nothing but curious arrangements of objects and furniture, and death traps.
Shit.
Eventually, Camille spots Zoe outside near the fire and runs out to her, where she starts babbling a bunch of nonsense.
They made their own choices.
Evan meets Camille and Zoe, or the History, I guess, outside just as the others pull up. Whatever this thing is, all it's waiting for is them to cross that line, which this thing counts down.
5.
Whatever the significance of, we don't really know, but this is what it needed to commence its ritual.
Hey, Lois, if I was gonna kill myself, do I slit my wrists this way or this way?
Sideways for attention, long way for results.
But then... Oh my god, would you look at this thing? What the fuck is this Saturday morning cartoon Beetleborg looking shit? Oh my god! Now do you understand the joke at the beginning?
Can it be both?
Trapped in the house now, they barricade the doors, afraid to trust anyone. Lights flicker, it's scary, there's a bunch of loud noises! And then the calm before the storm. The storm being the storm of controversy this next scene should have caused upon release, because look at this! Look at this PlayStation 1 ass rendered monster. I like the idea, but I shun the implementation. Look, 4 people agree.
Guys?
Bad jokes aside, on the count of 1, the others march like zombies to the kitchen, and then off themselves in a variety of creative ways. Knife, suffocation, and fucking bleach! Good God!
Oh my god, Nico!
Now in a panic, and a pretty great moment of cinematography to the movie's credit, we get a long shot as we zoom out from the door and the chaos erupting behind it. A moment later, Evan comes bursting out in a panic, and when he crosses the line, further panic sets in, and the...
What?
That tells us all we need to know about this place before the movie shows us. I really dig this, honestly, even if so much else in this film sucked. Now he runs off like a baby into the little building with the symbol, whips out his phone and calls his brother, who of course doesn't answer, and leaving him a voicemail, the History pops in at the last minute posing as Zoe. Returning his lighter to him,
We'll all be together now.
the implication is that he sets himself in the building on fire, I suppose. And we next find Peyton arriving at the cabin, and my question is quite clearly answered. Without stretching this crap out, the History is now posing as Evan.
Ready to get out of here.
And Peyton is going to unwittingly release him out into the world. it's the casting. I don't know if it's the casting or maybe there were too many characters. Maybe take one or two characters out of this movie and it would have given a little more importance to the few instead of trying to scatter my attention across so many. There's something I like about this movie. You know, I'm a big fan of any of these kind of movies that have monsters that shapeshift or take other forms. Like, I like the Bye Bye Man. You know, I'm in that category. So I can deal with a bad movie. And hopefully you can tell from this review that I don't actually hate this movie. As a matter of fact, I saw things in it the second time I watched it that I did not see the first time. So the first time I watched it, I pretty much hated it. I hated this movie, especially when the creature revealed himself and looked so stupid. But upon a second viewing, and I guess I'll say a third now from skimming through it and editing and all that, this movie's okay, you know? It's okay for what it is, and I hope they don't try to launch another sequel or carry this on because, man, the movie is just barely okay enough for me to say watch it, so I would hate for them to taint it with an unnecessary sequel that you know, if the first one's, I don't know, sometimes they do get them right the second time. What's the point in saying don't make a sequel if this is already not good? It's a possibility that a part 2 could be better. So I kind of like this movie, even if I shat all over it.